What's up, my Falynn love? Sisters Falynn D coming to you all from Falynn Team News. Before I get to my review of the interview and also things that happened on social media before the interview, after the interview, Falynn posted this beautiful image, in her bathing suit, and she wrote, "You simply cannot heal without putting in the courageous work. You cannot tell others to grow unless you lead by example, and you cannot expect a brighter future without releasing the past. Not all will understand, not all will favor you. You came into this world alone, and that is how you will leave it." Okay, she also posted a short clip as well. So I'm glad that she's smiling, she looks good. And so let's get into my review of the interview and also some things that happened on social media before the interview. If you missed it, please watch the last video I posted. I posted a video about Simon and Falynn dynamics and, them just being happy and in love. And she was on Instagram Live doing her makeup. There were moments of them just kissing and her nicknames for him. And just certain moments where she was smiling and happy, talking about how, she loved it when, they're matching. She loved that he just allows her to be her true self.
Dang, big friendly giant.
That's how you look. I was doing it on purpose.
But I am a giant.
That's you.
Stop. It's not me.
I can be in Timbuktu. I can hear you when you get out of your bed.
Babe, that is not... You know what? I'm on live, yes. It's so good tonight. Ew, you so nasty. Hi, booty butt. Hey, Poppin'. You know what? We should talk about some Give me kisses before I put my lipstick on. Ooh. Nigerian butter. Thank you. Isn't he so cute when he tries to match me with booty butts? He's my booty butt. Love how your husband lets you be you. I love that about him too. He's never forced me to grow up before my time. Even when he gets annoyed, he keeps it to himself. And he just lets me grow. He's awesome. Yeah, I have my blazer right here in my hand.
And it was a cute little video just to show you all behind the scenes of Falynn and Simon relationship. So I'm glad that most of you liked that video. Now, I'm going to be jumping around, okay, because I'm not trying to do a part 1 and part 2. So I'm going to speak on the parts that I feel like was important in the interview, and then hopefully we can close this chapter. But it's not looking that way, okay, because something else happened on social media, and I'm just like, oh, but I'm going to post different topics, and then I'm going to revisit, because the back-to-back about Simon, Falynn, and Portia, it's becoming repetitive, and I don't know about you, I'm tired, and I'm sure some of you are tired, okay? But I did promise to do a review on the interview, so here I am. Now, because I already have these footage saved in a software, because that was the last video I posted, let's go ahead and talk about it, okay? This whole thing about, did she cheat? The interviewer did ask that question. I'm going to go back to the beginning, okay? But I already have these videos here, so let's just talk about it, all right? So yes, Falynn talking highly of Jalen. This is when she was still with Simon. They were about to go out on date night.
Who is y'all friend Jalen? He kind of cute. Girl, get in line. Everybody. Hustle Bunny, that's you? You know what? Everybody loves him some Jalen. Jalen is my baby on the low. I'm going to tell him what y'all said. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I'm telling. I really like how he stay having your back. Oh my gosh. I wish. Y'all don't even know the half. Jalen is definitely family. Maybe not by blood, but anyone that I take on as a part of my family is my family. Especially anyone who loves and respects and cares for me as an individual, for Simon as an individual, and for my children, and then loves us all, and cares and treats for us as their own family, as a unit. Yeah, that's family.
I think the housekeeper must have picked it up. She doesn't like shit just laying around.
Yeah, she doesn't, and she'll unpack everything.
Well, there you go. There was even a moment in that video where someone basically left a comment saying that Jalen is her man on the low, and she read it out loud with her husband coming in and out of, her beauty room and all of that. And he was even in the car. I'm not saying because someone is in the car or they're cool with you, they can't overstep or betray you. I mean, Portia wasn't her BFF, but she kind of knew Portia, and Portia is engaged to her husband. So you don't put things past people, but I'm just saying that both Falynn and Jalen denied having any romantic relationship. They're just friends. Jalen used to sleep over all the time because he used to be her personal assistant. Jalen had his own little section in their house where, exactly like I said in the last video, it could be the basement, the guest quarters, and all of that. Simon simply just played with the public because the public, basically didn't know that Jalen lived over at the house from time to time. Jalen took care of the kids and all of that. And that's really hurtful. For me to help take care of your children and to have been there for you on your payroll or not, and for you to then use that to your advantage just because you thought this woman was about to drag you in an interview, and you ended up making yourself look so guilty and terrible because you did all that for nothing. She was very classy and took the high road. But Jalen, when I tell you, is fighting back, okay? He and Falynn are fighting back. They are not playing anymore, all right? There are a few things that happened on social media before the interview that I want to address, okay? Now, before the interview, I'm not going to read all of this because sometimes reading things just make the video an hour, 2 hours long. No, you can put me on pause. You can read it for yourself. I'm just going to summarize, okay? Simon people basically reached out to him and said, look, we understand you want to defend yourself. We understand you've made assumptions that she probably went out and, said some things about you. So now you're doing damage control, but you are looking so guilty out here and so unprofessional, and you are looking worse than her. You want her to look so bad, but you are actually doing the opposite. So why don't we do this? Why don't you play dirty behind the scenes, right? Pull a Portia Williams, basically. He and Portia are perfect for each other. Oh my goodness, they deserve each other. Simon then deleted all of the disgusting things he posted about his soon-to-be ex-wife, and he and his attorney started doing things behind the scenes. Let's go behind the scenes, right, and threaten them. They probably won't post this. Stop doing this publicly. Do it privately. Threaten them so that way the public can say, you know what, Simon have his flaws. He did what he did, but it's good to see that he's moving forward. He's being more mature. He's being more professional. He's not dragging this lady anymore. And, this situation is terrible, but hopefully we can all move on, right? Okay. Falynn and Jalen basically said, we are not dealing with this anymore. And they put Simon on blast, and they posted the emails, and they posted the letters of Simon threatening them, and his attorney allegedly threatening them. And you need to make a statement that, whatever you said that, was like going to defame his character, you need to take that back. Just a hot mess. So both of them, have been flashing on the screen the entire time I've been talking. You saw Falynns first, you saw Jalen, all of that. So in summary, that's what it was. And Jalen is basically saying, look, you don't scare me. I'm not going to just fall back and not say anything anymore. He was going to sue her. Everything I've said been happening. Didn't I say, I guarantee you Cyber is in court right now trying to stop this interview? Didn't I say that? I said that in one of my videos before the interview, and that's exactly what he was doing with all of his threats. Just for Falynn to go and do her interview with class and grace, and did not even tear him down. She even wished him the best. And said, if you're happy, then I'm happy for you. Speaking of Jalen again, he posted Falynn. They were, having drinks, having a good time. And then, of course, the blog pages reposted it. Porsha Williams fans became excited because, they don't like the fact that the person they support is out here looking crazy and people are dragging this person, okay? This person as in Porsha. So anything they feel could justify what Porsha and Simon did or are doing, they would jump on it. Not all of them, some of them. So these people, they're not kissing in this clip. There's no secret recording of them hugging. He's grabbing her booty. They're kissing. There's nothing. He posted this on his social media page, his Instagram story, which normally disappears after 24 hours. So when I saw this, I'm like, it makes sense, right? They were friends for a long time. He was her assistant. Just because my ex-husband decided to file for divorce and move on with his life doesn't mean I'm going to stop being friends with someone who's been my best friend for a few years. Now, let me tell you when something starts to look fishy. When you stop doing what you normally did because someone called you out on it or someone tried or did put you on blast, that's when you start looking guilty. Jalen used to post Falynn all the time. Falynn used to post him. So why are they going to stop now? Why are they going to be creeping around and be sneaky because Simon said something? Simon said, okay? They're not going to do that. I'm going to keep posting my friend like I used to do before and vice versa. So when the blog page posted this clip, oh my gosh, Porsha Williams supporters in the comment, we knew it. He was telling the truth. Leave Porsha and Simon alone. They didn't do anything wrong. They're going in, right? And that's exactly what I said happened. Jalen and Falynn both hopped in the comments and they both responded, okay? Falynn wrote, y'all need to chill. Jalen has always posted me. Y'all just didn't know about it because he didn't know who he was. No one, yep, all caps, writes my narrative but me. So know this now. Jalen is my best friend. He will continue to be so, and I will continue to live my life as I please. You better tell them, Falynn. And of course, her BFF jumped in the comments as well. So I find it real funny how these comments are bashing us because we are hanging out as friends like we've been doing for the past 2 years. But it's fine for a married man to be engaged while married. Well, Jalen, they are getting dragged. So yeah, I know. The level of the drag compared to if this was somebody else from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'm not going to say her name in this video because this video is not about her, but you know who I'm talking about. The level of the drag that Porsha is getting compared to if it was that person is not the same. So I understand your energy, Jalen, and where you're coming from, okay? So that was that. All right, so let's just dead the whole Jalen and Falynn thing and the pregnancy and all of that. Like I said, eventually, if she is, someone in Atlanta will sneak a picture. Something will happen. At the end of the day, the truth always finds its way of coming out. So for now, I'm going to leave the girl alone. She says she didn't cheat. Pregnancy, whatever. So I'm going to leave it alone. So let's go ahead and move on from the whole Jalen conversation. Now, Okay. So she comes out, of course, she talked about herself being the spiritual gangster and all of that. Now, when she said that Simon was the one who suggested that she do the show, I mean, her Instagram live proved that. Yes, they show connection and being loving and all of that, but he couldn't stop coming in and out of the room while she's doing her makeup, talking to her, which is cool. You can have a conversation with your wife while she's on Instagram live, but you can clearly see that he didn't have any problem with the spotlight. That's what he wanted. When Falynn couldn't give him that, of course, he went with Portia. I don't know about you, but I don't know how being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to help someone's spiritual journey. She claims that she's been on this spiritual journey, right? And he felt like the Real Housewives of Atlanta was going to be a test. And if she could chill and woosah and behave like, according to Simon, a lady, allegedly, and handle herself with class and grace and don't get involved in the drama and the arguments and all of that, then that will really prove that she improved and that the spiritual journey is working, because these ladies are ruthless and she was able to pass the test. Now, I understand, but I'm not sure how many husbands who really have their wife's best interest and know that if, let's just say, allegedly she have anger issues or things to work through, will then just throw her in the lion's den and say, you know what, no baby steps. Let's go and see how you do. Especially knowing this history right here about Falynn.
I think with that comment, where I was coming from was probably domestic violence. I used to be in a very abusive relationship, and it took me years. It took me years to be able to leave. I still don't necessarily have the reason as to why. I guess I felt like I wasn't strong enough, because when you're being verbally and physically abused, you feel like they're right and you don't have a way out. And there is no one who loves you. And everything that this person says to you, you've taken on their energy for so long that you truly take on whatever words it is that they say to you. And I think that I'm in a place now that I left. I got up the courage to leave. I had nothing to my name. I remember packing up me and my children's things in a black garbage bag and hauling it over my shoulder, and I hauled ass.
Wow.
I woke up one day and realized this is not my life. This is not where I want to be. This is not what I want my sons to see. I'm gone. And I got the courage enough to do that. And I think once you get to that point of clarity that it's time, or at least for me, it was time for me to share my story. I didn't go through that for no reason. I went through those things so that I'm capable of sharing that story to other women, because unfortunately there are women in those same predicaments who are not able to share their story with us today. And God willing, I'm here today to be able to do so. And so that's what I have dedicated my life to those women who currently need me, or those women who have made it out and who, can help me spread that word.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, I'm sure that we're all either personally or are attached to someone who's been in a similar situation. And so that's a tough thing to talk about. So for you to come on here and admit it and talk about it is a beautiful thing. And I appreciate that. What piece of advice, or maybe even not advice, but what would you say to anyone who may be in a similar situation to what you were in?
That you're not alone, that there are so many women who are who have been in your same predicament, and there is a way out. All you have to do is believe it. That's all you have to do. Nothing else matters. Just believe it. And that is the step.
Thank you, Falynn. That was so good. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, there you go. I'm not making excuses for her, but when you are someone who's a survivor of domestic violence and you finally gain the courage to get out, you become very defensive. You protect your kids, yourself. You protect what's important to you. And those days of allowing someone to walk all over you, treat you like whatever, talk to you however they want, are over. So Falynn finally found her voice. And so anyone that she feels is threatening to diminish that, she's going to react. And that's why she openly said she was going to therapy. She was getting help. Okay? Sometimes when you experience things like that, you move on to the next relationship, and it might not be physical abuse, but it could be emotional abuse, right? Verbal abuse, someone being controlling and all of that. And we could see now that Simon was all of that. And I'm going to throw the word allegedly in there. But we can see that even though it wasn't physical, because she never, said that it was, who knows what went on behind closed doors. But emotional abuse is also very serious and deep. Knowing your wife's history, why would you suggest that a show like that will be the best fit for her? Now, no one put a gun to Falynn's head to do the show, okay? But she's been saying no for a few years. That's what she said. She felt like, I'm going to fight for my marriage, okay? He loved the fancy things in this lifestyle. I'm not into it, but I'm going to try. This show been approaching us for years. I'm not into it, but for my husband's sake and my marriage, I'm going to try. I'm going to give the show a chance. And then what does the show do? Not only did they bring, certain things in her house that she didn't want to happen. When she told them that LaToya have to leave, especially for the things that LaToya said, Falynn did say in this same very interview that it was LaToya that said it. If you go to the Real Housewives of Atlanta playlist, you can watch this entire interview.
Yeah, that I would really love for you to touch on. Is this a real, confrontational thing going on between you and LaToya? And where did that start? Do you feel like she's had it out for you since the beginning of the show? Or can you let us in on that?
That's a very valid question. It's all very real. From what you all saw, mostly, that is exactly how it happened. From the very first moment I was introduced to everyone, I met everybody at the at Portia's Black Lives Matter event. I sat down, and that's what she threw at me, and then flash forward to, we had a couple of incidents in between, but then fast forward to my Halloween party. That was exactly what you guys saw. The only thing you did not see is when she called me Ching Chong on multiple occasions. And I think someone told me that she went on live recently stating that, it wasn't true, but, everyone heard it. All the cast members, everyone was there. And she did actually call me Ching Chong. And that's actually what made me react in the way that I did, because you're not going to talk to me like that. All of my children are Asian as well. You're not going to talk to me like that. In my home, you were already disrespectful, and I let it slide a few times. I don't know any woman who would have been put in my position who would have let that down. So yeah, it's all very real.
She did say her name. She didn't say her name in her YouTube interview, but she did say LaToya's name on this interview right here. Falynn said that they've been approaching them for a while. This is not news to me. When I posted a Falynn interview months ago, you all heard her say that in that interview, okay? If my voice sounds like it's cracking and I'm in pain or I can barely speak, I think I might be losing it. Allergy season, I'm going through it. Just hang in there with me, okay? It's dry, very hot in Atlanta. But I'm doing my best to just knock these videos out so we can move on from this whole mess. I do understand that Falynn been through a lot in her life, but I still didn't 100% excuse her behavior when it comes to grabbing the golf club at her party, her Halloween party. I did speak about that. If you want to hear my reaction, for those of you who missed it, go to the Real Housewives of Atlanta playlist, watch part 1 of the interview that I've been flashing on the screen, and you will hear everything I have to say about that. I really do want to move on to other things that she touched on during her interview on YouTube, and I feel like keep repeating old things that I've already talked about is making the video longer than I expected. Although most of you love my long videos, but I would love to move on to other topics. So I didn't 100% just, give her the pass, but you can hear all about what I had to say in those videos. For those of you who watch those videos and you already know what I said, then let's move on. The whole mess about she's off brand. Do they even know who have Center Peach? This is the reason why the Real Housewives of Atlanta is a joke. Repeating a lie that was told to her off camera, on camera. She could have simply said, look, I might not be here for Candy, but I do not believe Candy is going to go this far. I'm going to ask her this off camera, and I'm going to choose a different way to make my coins this season. I'm not bringing no alleged, she's going to rape me and drug me and take me to her sex dungeon on camera. I'm not doing that. She brought that story on camera, dragged it the entire season, made it her storyline, and when she saw that her job was in jeopardy, she threw Phaedra on the bus, and we all know Phaedra got fired. Pulling Kenya Moore hair, kicking, screaming, throwing a tantrum, saying that, oh, she was in my personal space, she provoked me, I felt threatened, and that's why I did what I did, but then turn around and put something in Milo's face, threatened Milo. Milo simply took the fan out of her hand. Milo could have dragged her. Milo is the one with 150 mugshots, and Portia claimed last season, season 13, the season that just ended, that Milo, makes her scared. And oh, Milo is dangerous. But a dangerous person with all of these mugshots had every opportunity to drag you, but she didn't. She took the fan from you, all right? Then fighting Cynthia Bailey on the boat, the yacht, whatever, okay? Then claiming that because she was provoked and Kenya Moore was in her personal space, that's why she reacted. However, her former personal assistant, wasn't in her space, wasn't in her personal space, wasn't in her face, and she chased her behind that building, okay? And Bravo just showed us a black screen because showing us Portia allegedly would have gotten Portia fired. So we did not see that, but we saw her running, okay, to go and attack someone. That person wasn't in your personal space. Your life wasn't threatened at that moment. You ran towards the threat, but yet want to scream that this is not who I am. And then if Nene Leakes did not hold her back, Nene, that girl over there, Leakes, did not hold her back, she would have fought Giovanna. And she did the same for Nene. She held Nene back so that Nene didn't, put her hands on Kenya and all of that, okay? So threatening that she was going to put her hands on Eva, all right? And then Portia is grown. She can do whatever she wants to do, but sleeping allegedly with a stripper in a cast house on a show that been filmed that you just met. If Portia did this off camera during her personal time, no problem. That's her personal life. She's a grown woman. No judgment here. Do your thing. But when you do something like that in the cast house, of course, people are going to talk. So people had every right to talk about it, okay? I can go on. The list goes on and on and on. But yet, Falynn is the one that's off-brand. Falynn is the one that's going to declass the show. Portia running behind her house to put her hands on her former assistant. The screen goes black. Falynn runs through her mansion to grab a golf club, and we saw everything. But yet, they couldn't show LaToya allegedly saying what she said and at least bleeping it up, blurring it, or something. But they show us. You see, they show you what they want to show you when they do not rock with that person and want to show them in a certain light. So you showed us Falynn reaction, but not exactly what made her react that way. The same way how you showed us a cast member questioning someone's activism, but not the reason why she's questioning the person activism. So, yeah, Bravo is a joke. I don't understand why any producer will intentionally want to sabotage their best franchise when it comes to the ratings. I don't get it. You have all of this right here, but you're choosing not to have it. But Falynn, this is a blessing in disguise. You need healing, because all of that healing and spiritual journey you're talking about, I do not care how much God bless attitude you have, sweetheart. Being positive at all times, seeing the good in every situation, like I said at the end of every video. I don't care how much you have that. There's no way you're going to be on the show with your ex-husband and his current fiance, and Bravo is going to show you in a positive spiritual journey light. Okay? And if you don't give them what they're looking for drama-wise, or behave jealous and all of that, you won't be on this show. Falynn got her own money. Okay? She's worth allegedly $2 million or probably more. I did a video on that. Go to the Real Housewives of Atlanta playlist to watch that video. So Falynn will be fine with or without the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But this is a blessing in disguise. Now, another thing that happened online, basically during the interview, Falynn cried when it came to her children. Simon boys live with him full time. Falynn boys, of course, live for her full time. That was their family under one roof, okay? Those were the children that she tucked in the bed and had different parties and had to plan creative things with and for, because some of the children have special needs, Simon children, and all of that, okay? So when she kept saying the boys, that's what she meant. But at the end, she said the kids, period. The daughter doesn't live with Simon full time. If you're seeing her around a lot, it's summertime. She's not in school. She's on vacation with her dad, but she lives with her mother. So every time she gets a weekend or a break here, vacation here from school, she comes and she's with Simon. But she doesn't live in the house full time. Simon, being a petty person that he is, after the interview, he goes and he posts a picture with his daughter, and he writes in the caption something along the lines of finding activities that the both of them can do together. Of course, this is common sense. Falynn, who loves children, is not going to exclude his daughter. She was speaking about the kids that she physically lived with and did everyday activities with. And that's why she said not being there to hug them while they're confused and all of that. But when Simon did that, of course, people took it and ran with it. But Falynn said, "Yeah, or you only had sons." She never said that. She never ever said that Simon only have sons. All she said was our boys, because she was talking about the boys that lived in the house full time, the boys that she tucked into bed at night, okay? But she never said out of her mouth that they only have boys. See how people put things in people's mouth? She never said that. This person responded, right, she didn't even acknowledge his daughter. Right, did she not know about the daughter? I think she did her best acting in that interview, and Mr. G has 2 daughters. Sis was crying everything and never mentioned the daughter. I'm too invested in this story to not get the answer. Laughing my bleep off the shade, knowing bleep well your ex-wife said she's going to miss the most is activities. What this person meant, what she's going to miss the most is the activities with the family. This other person responded, she is so beautiful and does look like her daddy. Enjoy, little one. I am Team Portia. If only this wasn't posted for claps. How many of these have you had? I think we all know she was a liar talking about Falynn. She cheated on him, didn't acknowledge his daughter. What else did she do? And we don't know. But people were quick to point fingers at Simon. I want to think that maybe she was not in the best of terms with the mothers. Remember, he cheated on his ex-wife with Falynn. Now he's doing the same to her, and bet he will with Portia, okay? Exactly. Obviously, she was only thinking of her children. She has 3 sons, see, of her children. Simon has sons too. Finally, someone who gets it, okay? From being in her lives before Real Housewives of Atlanta, someone who's been watching her before the show, she showed much of her family life. I believe his daughter spent more time with her own mom states away than the boys did. Falynn always had the boys, hers and his, thank you, but his daughter visited sometimes. Although when she was there, she treated her just as good. As you can see from the pictures, a little blurry, but the little girl is right there in the family pictures smiling and everything. Okay, so this is how people get things started. That woman never said this man only had boys. He also had an older daughter who's out of college, okay? So she never said that. She was just talking about the things that happen on an everyday basis. And that's why at the end of addressing the boys only, she then said, I will miss the kids. Period. The girl included, the boy included, she would miss all of them. And also someone saying because she wasn't on good terms with the mother, because she allegedly did A, B, and C. Listen, I don't care if you're not on good terms. You can still say the daughter, the boys. That's not an insult. That's not grounds to be sued because you acknowledge someone else's daughter, okay? So no. That's not why she didn't focus on the daughter. I'm not going to sit on the interview and lie and behave like I was taking care of this man's daughter every day. I was tucking her into bed and I was doing daily activities with her when that's not the truth. When she lived with her own mother who did all of those things for her. I'm not going to take credit for something that her mother is doing for her. However, when she came for vacation, we treated her and I treated her like she was my daughter. But I'm not going to take everyday credit for years for something I didn't do. But like I said, sometimes common sense isn't so common. And I did not have to live in a house with Simon and Falynn to figure this out. However, Porsha Williams' supporters, in their eyes, she can do no wrong. So any little pockets they feel like they can jump in to protect her and defend her, that's what they're going to do. But for the people who are like, who was saying something? I didn't see that. Simon can't, post picture with his daughter now. What is going on? That's why I read these comments, just to show that, yes, people were talking. People were making up their own narrative before Simon started to archive images so that his page can look more professional. His page can match this lifestyle that he wants everyone to believe that he have, and his page can match the current narrative. Majority of the pictures with the boys only are gone. Now you see more pictures with the daughter and the boys to provide this balance that they were always there. When that wasn't the case a few weeks ago, when I was on his page, the boys were on his page more than you saw the daughter, because that matched the narrative of she lived with her mother full time, but she does come and visit the dad. She's out of school now, and that's why you see her in pictures with Porsha and all of that, because she's on her summer break. She acknowledged the boys more because they live there full time. Of course, Porsha posted images with the little girl a few weeks before Falynn interview. And then after the interview, she posted more images to prove that, look at me, I'm the stepmom. I'm going to throw allegedly on it, but that's what happened, okay? So, of course, he's still being petty on social media, but this time it in a way where it's not so direct. He's learning that from Porsha. Good job, Porsha. Porsha would stab you, but then hide her hand and pretend like it didn't happen, or try to come up with a reason why it happened and reach for the reason why it happened. And it's like, girl. Anyways, let's get to Falynn saying that no, Portia Williams is not the reason why my marriage ended. And of course, some of Portia fans looking for anything to hold on to say, thank you, Falynn. Our girl is not, a hot mess after all. She didn't do anything wrong. Now, I don't know about you. She's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. No woman, especially the boss that Falynn is. You heard what she said at the end of the interview. We'll get to that. It's going to sit there and admit that a Portia Williams had that much power to come in her life and take her man. Admitting to that is admitting to some form of like a defeat. Like, girl, you do not have that much power and pull to do that. We did this. We are the reason why our marriage didn't work. That was very smooth. You don't have that much power to do that, okay? And generally, it's true. I've been saying that forever. When people make the comments about, oh, you stole this person's husband, or this, that, and the third, I'm like, no one have the power to steal someone. The person being involved in the mess chose to be in the mess. But I love how Falynn answered that question. Okay? Talking about the lifestyle and, not being interested. I already addressed this in the previous video when she was on Instagram Live and basically being excited because she found something for $2, or saying that Simon would spend thousands of dollars on things and she would just be happy to find it for $200.
I hope this is the right brush. This little palette that I got, it actually came from the beauty supply store, which is awesome, right? I love my cheap little finds. Am I the only one who loves cheap little finds? I love just walking into a store and being like, what, $2? I will say, Simon loves that about me. He'll go find something that's like $3,000 and I'll find it for like $200. He's like, ooh. And there they go. Yes, guys.
This was like September of last year when I screen recorded this Instagram Live. Whatever, before divorce, before any of this, these were her conversations talking to less than 200 people on Instagram Live. So yes, she accepted the lifestyle. She was happy. She felt blessed. She kept saying that in the Instagram Live. She really didn't care for it, okay? And that could also lead to some disconnect, okay? I love the lavish lifestyle. I love to travel. This on the third, and finally is like, I don't like this jet. I'm afraid of flying. Thank God for the big house, but I don't really care for it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the car. I'm grateful, but I don't really care. But I'm a posy from a bit, though. I'm a little cute. But whether what it mentions or not, if I love you for who you are, and that's it. And she did say this was her first older and rich guy that she's ever dated. So for the people thinking she jumps from rich man to rich man, that's not true. Now, this last part might seem rushed. There are some parts that I didn't talk about in the beginning that's supposed to be discussed in the beginning. And I'm also trying to keep the video on an hour, okay? So basically the question about how did she find out about the engagement? She found out like everybody else, like she said in the interview. And she even argued with the person and told them they were lying, that her husband is a lot of things, but he wouldn't do that to her, okay? And so we heard that part. Just trifling. Falynn did say in one of her previous interviews that she did film a lot for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She filmed long hours and a lot, but producers chose not to show most of the things that they filmed that was really going to show who she truly is. So once again, like I said, Bravo producers that they have right now for this franchise, they're terrible, okay? They wanted to show us silly storylines that made no sense, but then cut out Falynn scenes. Really? This was for the people who were saying that she wasn't on the show long enough for the show to ruin her marriage. Of course, the show did not 100% ruin her marriage, but she did say it was a contributing factor once filming started. And also they were already in counseling before the show, and they also had a 9-month break and all of that. So yeah, It wasn't all of the show's fault, but that was just for the people who basically said she wasn't on there long enough. She said she filmed a lot, but we didn't see it. And then, of course, his love language being gifts and her being quality time. That's all that she wanted. And there are people out there who having money is not enough for them. Fame validates them, okay? When they walk in the room and people are not bowing down to them and people don't know who they are, that makes them feel like, do you know who I am? You know, I'm rich, okay? But just having money doesn't mean you're going to walk in the room and everyone are going to know who you are. So they want the fame. They already feel powerful by their bank account, and now they have the fame to go with it, and people are running up to them want to take pictures and all of that. That validates people's excitement. And that's why, you know what, Falynn? You can't get us on the Real Housewives of Atlanta permanently. I'm going to go with Portia. So that's that. Of course, we're going to see damage control on the show if, you know, they do bring this storyline to the show. But eventually, it's going to get boring. There's only so many, you know, private jets trips you can take and boring conversations before it's like, okay, next. And that's when normally when people get bored, then Portia is like, okay, let me see what else we can do to add the drama. Dennis cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, the gifts and everything was cute with Dennis in the beginning, but then after that, it was like, oh, we don't care. Then it was like, Dennis cheated, and we're going to counseling, and that became boring as well. If you notice, I did videos in the Real Housewives of Atlanta of people complaining, girl, we get it, he cheated, we tired, next, okay? So we shall see. But hey, if she get a spin-off, she's going to spin this, and kudos to Portia and this man. Whatever that happens, you know. I'm not even going to sit here and stress about that. You know, like I said previously, that she doesn't blame Portia for the demise of her marriage. She said that she doesn't agree with how they handle things. But of course, you don't blame the woman. You blame your husband. All right? Because if your husband was into it, doesn't matter what Portia said or did, he would have said, I'm happy with my wife, have a nice life. So, and she felt like her marriage was going to work because, I mean, they separated for 9 months, got back together. They've had ups and downs. So she just felt like, oh, this is another moment, we'll be just fine. And she had no clue this was going to happen. That she's just been working extremely hard at her marriage, and that she didn't come up for air until their separation because she was fighting for her marriage. And that they were still going to couples counseling through the ups and downs, and they were having a nice conversation, and they had a nice conversation the night before. Like, she just said everything wasn't, you know, perfect and great, but they were working at it. And then it went from that to the attorneys calling about, you know, divorce. And then, you know, when she was asked if she resent him for asking her to be on the show just to end up with Portia, she said no. It hurts, but no. She said, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. My knight in shining armor is out there, and hopefully he will come in due time when I'm healed. Okay, and I'm like heavy on the healed, child, because this one is not healed over here, and he's in the next relationship. And that's why he's going to keep going from relationships to relationship. And the only woman who will stick around long enough to tolerate him is the one who will accept all of the other stuff he does out there. Like, I don't care. He wants to go and sleep with whoever allegedly. Do I still have the keys to the mansion, to the cars, to everything else? I'm good. Unless he kicks her out, she's not going anywhere until she basically gets, you know, what she wants to gain out of it. Simon didn't heal, and that's why he's lashing out on Falynn all over social media. She wants him to be happy. She have nothing else to say. I'm just ready to be with someone who respects me, you know, and someone who loves me back the way that I love. You know, I love hard, and I have to be positive because, you know, of my children. And that she's looking forward to what's next and whatever God has in stores for her, okay? And she also said that as an advice to not always be, you know, in a set plan, because it could change anytime, because God is the one in control, which is true. God is in control, right? She's ready for whatever that's next, onward and upward. Now, Falynn was in the process of opening an art gallery in Miami.
So, Falynn, what happens from here? I mean, there have obviously been a tremendous amount of people, you know, the women who have been a part of this show and have gone on to do some amazing things, even still while on the show or out, you know, after they've left. What do you plan on doing? Because this is a major platform for you. And you've already got a great life, but do you plan on kind of taking this and flipping it into something else?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a very big philanthropist. I don't really post about it or talk about it much, but I'm very big on philanthropy. So wherever it is and whichever direction that takes me, I'm definitely going to go down that route and continue that. Outside of that, I'm an artist as well, so I paint. So I'm opening up a gallery. So between those two things, those are the two things that keep me very grounded, you know, sane.
Yes.
That, yeah, that's what you guys can look forward to seeing more.
Okay. So the gallery is going to be in Atlanta, I'm assuming?
Miami.
In Miami? Okay.
I don't know if Simon had anything to do with that, but she did not mention that at all in her interview. So if he had anything to do with that, that could be the reason why. Or she might still be opening it, but had to put everything on hold right now because of the divorce and all the mess that she got going on. But I'm sure if that is still an option, she will absolutely make an announcement. I love how she ended the interview. Everyone wants her to bust up and meet this wealthy, Rico Suave guy. Sorry to tell you, but I am the boss and I am the Rico Suave guy. I lost it. I was just like, yes. And I love her mentality, okay? Because even in this video with Simon walking in and she's calling him a giant, okay? Like he walks heavy. And then he was like, that's how you walk. And she responded, I am a giant.
Dang, big friendly giant.
That's how you walk. I was doing it on purpose.
But I am a giant.
That's you.
Stop. It's not me.
I can be in Timbuktu. I can hear you when you get out of your bed.
Babe, that is not, you know what?
I love that mindset. She might look tiny, you know, and small and all of that, but I love that mindset of don't allow the way I look like fool you, okay? I'm a boss, I'm strong, you know, I'm this, that, and the third, and all of the beautiful things that come with her. So I rock with that mindset. So she was talking about herself. She said, I'm excited for that new person to come into my life and show me exactly what God created me for. Rediscovering herself is what she's looking forward to, and you know that she fought for her marriage, but you know she would not be keeping that name anymore, and that her name is now Falynn Pina, exactly the way how I titled the video. So Falynn Pina, welcome, congratulations on everything you got going on. I wish you and your boys absolutely nothing but the best. I wish all of you the best, and take care. And here, my Fina loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.